Hi, this is Asim.
This is Sujoy.
This is Amrita.
And you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast about the three main Khans of the Hindi film industry.
Amir,
Salman,
and Shara.
Hi, you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast regular feed. Thank you so much for your support over the years. We now have a Patreon channel with bonus content and exclusive merch for those of you who would like to support us. Every dollar goes towards creating more and better content. Visit us at patreon.com/Khandaan podcast.
Hi and welcome to a new episode of Khandaan podcast. My name is Asim Bernie and I'm joined with my lovely co-host Amrita and Sujoy. Hey Amrita, hey Sujoy.
Hey everybody.
How does it feel to be back, yo?
Nice. The summer is quite pleasant in London. I've been traveling all across Asia where the summer is quite scorching and sweaty. So it's nice to be back to cold summer in London.
Yeah, I think both me and Amrita were basically envying your lifestyle of... So I think, Sujoy, you were giving us tips on how you lead your lifestyle of just like being, malang.
Yeah, just be Katrina Kaif. Just wake up in the morning, have your coffee and think, what would Katrina do today? And
मैं Katrina बनना चाहती हूँ.
Exactly that. That's how I lead my life.
Well, we need to talk about, because you missed an entire war, basically. I think that skill level of skipping out on things is just amazing and enviable.
Yeah, the moment I flew off to Kuala Lumpur from Calcutta, like the day, and then I just dropped off all social media, noise completely. And then like my sister started WhatsApping me about what's happening and all that because she was supposed to travel to Ahmedabad and the flights are getting cancelled and everything. And I'm like, what the heck is happening? And then I found out like what's happening. And then like the entire, obviously the Indian news cycle of spewing hate speech and propaganda and all of that has been happening across India, which I completely skipped, but it still somehow finds your way.
It finds you. It seeps through.
It seeps through. You can't really escape it. That's how the machinery works.
Mm.
But yeah, I tried to stay away from it as much as possible.
Mm. So, guys, are you still okay talking to a Pakistani? Are you feeling okay with it? No, so me and Amrita did an episode on Patreon where we were talking when it was going on and a lot of our emotions and stuff like that. So we were talking about it then. But I just wanted to kind of say something on Khandaan because we're back and it's all of us together again. And I think with Khandaan, we've always been Project Milap. We've always been, cross-country unity and things like that. And the thing is, we're a family. Like Amrita, Sujoy are literally my family. But we're not that kind of family that doesn't talk through things. So we do talk through things. And that's why we did the Patreon thing. And I think, these moments have just been very painful. They've been very raw. It's still raw. And I think it's just the horror is just that so many innocent lives have been lost,
Yeah.
I think from both sides, there's been attacks, there's been betrayals, there's been insults flying around. But I also know there are people who believe in unity. And I believe there are people that believe in peace. And our voices might be quieter at the moment because some of us might feel scared. Some of us might feel hopeless or even dejected. And I also understand it's going to be tough for some people to listen to a Pakistani person at this moment. And there's a lot of Pakistani people that don't want me to talk about Bollywood stuff at all, that don't want me even to cover it. And I totally get it. I get it completely. But, we're going to be talking to each other. We're going to be laughing about things. And when, people are ready again, come and join us. We might not be here forever, but we're here for a while.
Yeah.
And that's just Khandaan, so I think I just kind of wanted to say that because we're in the whole thing of what's going on, we just are very, very tiny pieces, and I don't think we can change anything or make anything
Yeah.
happen. But I think we always have, and we always will choose love and peace. And I'm just not here to spread negativity or hate or anything like that. That's just not my thing. So
To add to that, I would like to say that our perspectives, the three of us, we are pretty much like global citizens. We do not live specifically in like geography. Like Amrita is back now in India, but like we were brought up and we've traveled and we live in, like me and Asim, we live in a different world from India and Pakistan, where we find our own people and build our own community here. So it's very difficult in situations like this when rift happens between our own countries back home, and then you get to hear like people that we sort of socialize and befriend here, then their perspectives change and how they interact when situations like this happen online. And yeah, it's very difficult to navigate things like this. But at the same time, I would like to say, for people who are optimistic and who are driving positivity in a times like this, you are heard, and we see you completely, and we side with that rather than the hate speech and whatever that people are so much vocal about. Also, be who people who get a the raging boner out of hate speech and war and propagating that message of who is more strong and all of that, they are the ones with nothing to lose. They are just literally keyboard warriors in really far remote lands who cannot think of what is the cost of human mortality in situations like this. People who are actually losing lives don't have anything to gain out of it.
mm,
So yeah.
mm,
And I just want to say, just to add to what Asim and Sujoy said, anytime things, and this has happened over and over and over again, right? Like, this is not the first time that we've
Yeah.
arrived at this situation. And every time we do, there are a very vocal bunch of people who would call people like us stupid for maintaining the relationships that we have. Um, I mean, that's like the kindest thing they'd call us.
Yeah.
There's like a whole bunch of other things that they'd call us too. And you know what? That's fine, because I don't go to bed at night thinking of what other people are thinking about me. I need to be clear in my conscience and in my heart about who it is that I love and who it is that I want to spend my time with and why. And I'm very clear about those things. I sleep just fine at night. Um, I can look myself in the face and I'm okay. So I don't really need people, like, I don't need, like, like random bunch of numbers on Twitter to respect me. That's okay.
Hmm.
I don't need his respect. What is important to me, amongst other things, are the two people that I do the show with. Like the two people here. They're like my brothers, they're my family. And I'm just very grateful to be here and to have the two of them
mm.
be a part of my family.
I
So,
mean, we live in times when being anti-war is flagged
yeah,
as anti-national,
yeah.
and yeah, what else can you say when the narrative is that, and that's been driven right and like absolute uh, center stage by the national media. Like the media is a completely uh,
And
yeah.
I was thinking about exactly this, like a couple of weeks ago, when the war broke out, because back in the 60s, and I don't know if you guys know about this, but like back in the 60s, Sunil Dutt and Nargis did like a whole like padyatra, like they walked across India for peace.
Mm.
And this was like, you had the war with China, you had the war with Pakistan, and they, at that time, with tensions being at an all-time high, they walked with like, and a whole bunch of Bollywood celebrities came out at the time. Ordinary people came out.
Mhm.
They were marching against nuclear weapons, they were marching against war, they were marching for peace. And I can't even imagine anyone today,
Mhm.
celebrity or not,
Yeah.
on like, like I can't even imagine somebody. But it's such a bargain basement thing to advocate for those of us that grew up in the great before, to just say that, you know what, we would like peace, we don't want war. It didn't I don't know if it was ever this controversial.
Mm.
This Americanization of the discourse has basically led us to this point where we think the only way that our countries have any honor is if we are capable of like killing people, and that is genuinely one of the worst things that globalization has brought us. But anyway,
Yeah. No, but I know people are hurt. I know like people are feeling the way they're feeling, and I just don't want them to. I want to acknowledge that and respect that. So it's feel the way you want to feel about it. We're not going to change anybody's mind. We're just letting you know that how we feel. And also the thing is, like, any conversation I've had about this offline has been pretty much along the same lines, but any conversation you have online
Yeah.
is like a fight for death,
yeah,
so yeah, it's the well has been poisoned for sure online. But it hurts when you see people that you look up to, or people that were friends, and they post things and you're like, oh my god, like this is how they kind of feel.
Mm.
So I can understand also why they're posting the things that they're posting. So I understand the way people are feeling. It's a tough situation, but yeah. Just wanted to kind of acknowledge that, because I think it's just weird to just like, hey,
Yeah.
this is the trailer for it. So I just wanted to get out. And if you guys have feelings and you don't have any, like, drop us an email at youpodcasting@gmail.com. If you are part of Khandaan, if you are part of Project Milap, and also if you can still hear this podcast, because I don't even know if you can even hear the podcast anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Are we going to address that, like our partners?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I think it's a weird situation. Basically, we got an email from our podcasting
Platform.
host
Yeah.
that we cannot promote anything that is pro-Pakistani or is anti-India. There was a whole statement and a whole bunch of rules, and I think around 8,000 outlets in India got that.
Hmm.
The Wire India and
Yeah.
all of these things happen.
And we
But
are far smaller than The Wire.
yeah, we do not matter in this whole
Yeah.
space at all. Also, we're not a video podcast, so I think
Yeah.
we're kind of in this little niche where people just kind of forget about us.
Yeah.
But when a statement from the Indian government like that comes, you don't know what becomes pro-Pakistani or anti-Indian,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's a hammer, it's a big hammer that's being wielded, and I don't know who's going to get. Is my presence pro-Pakistani? Is it
Yeah.
anti? I don't know. So,
He's just a Belgian guy.
yeah, I don't know. If I don't like Chava, is that a problem?
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know. If I don't want to watch Skyforce, is that a problem? If I make fun of him, Akshay Kumar, is that a problem? I don't know. So I don't know if people will, if this, there's also a lot of like things that are getting suppressed by the algorithm. That also happens. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know if people can hear this or not hear this. Is this the only way people are now hearing something Pakistani on their feed? Which is also an absurd thing to think about. By the way, we didn't get an email from the Pakistani government. We didn't get anything. Just like, but yeah, it's so I don't know what's going to happen. So
Like the
yeah.
silver lining for me when I saw that email was like, oh, I feel seen. We
I
exist.
Dude,
I told I told
okay.
my friends, and all of them were like, "Oh wow, you've arrived." I was like, "Yeah."
Guys, we were just part of this big BCC list. Nobody's targeting us specifically.
Yeah.
It's just like we were
Somebody,
sent to.
yeah, somebody in the INB ministry just listening to Khandaan, like,
Yeah.
Pakistani ne kya kaha?
इसको Skyforce पसंद नहीं है.
Sky पर से अच्छी लगी.
He objected at the 58th Janab in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a whole thing, but yeah, we don't know how it's gonna pan out. I also just
Mhm.
feel like, weirdly, I think things have calmed down. So like I think
Yeah.
like it's weird, but I also think it's things have kind of, which is good. But
It's weird that the defense ministry Twitter account that sort of officially announced the ceasefire then get trolled by its own citizens. It's just
yeah.
yeah.
Should we be thanking Donald Trump, by the way? Like, is that also something that we should be doing? I don't know. Like,
He did call basically, and then he took all the credit, which is so on brand for
that's
him.
so on brand. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's talk about.
we'll get a memo from the White House any moment now.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into a bit of film business then. No, actually, not a lot happened, right? Like it's been like feels a lot of.
I mean, how can it? I was traveling, so.
Can I tell you my most favorite thing that happened in
Yes.
Bollywood? So Rajkumar Rao and Vamika Gabbi are coming in this movie whose name I cannot remember.
Bhool Chuk Maaf.
Bhool Chuk Maaf. Yeah.
And it's one that I was looking forward to actually because it's exactly the genre I like.
I thought the movie is called Chor Bazari because that's how they promoted the movie, right? Everything is about that Chor Bazari remix, and I thought the movie is actually called Chor Bazari, but it's Bhool Chuk Maaf, and it's like a Groundhog Day kind of situation, right?
Which is one of my favorite genres in cinema, like repeat the day, every day, like source code and all of these. Like I love these movies.
And they do that in the Chor Bazari remake video as well, right? Yeah.
So Asim was literally the only person that was looking forward to this film. And apparently their user insight
they knew
or
it.
whoever.
They knew it. They knew only the Pakistani is looking forward to this movie.
And so they were like, what are we going to do? This is going to be like a huge clunker. And so then the war broke out and Maddox was like, they were like, oh, with all this war happening, we can't release our film. We're going to release it on OTT instead.
Yeah.
And PVR Cinemas, which is like the big multiplex chain in India, was like, hold on a second. You're not going to weasel out of this so easily. So they sued them in the middle of the war. They sued Maddox Films and were just like, you owe us money if you're not going to play this. And then the war just ended. And Maddox was like, God damn it. And now they're going to release it in the theaters. But the thing is, everybody now knows that it has like the stink of like nobody believing in it, nobody watching it, like nobody wants it. And I'm just like, wow, you might as well just have gotten like a banner and like flown it across India going like, our movie sucks. Like everybody now expects it to be a clunker.
I think that's a first time in history, right? There's something like this has happened. Like, oh God, so sad.
Yeah, and it's going to come out on streaming in 2 weeks later also. The window for it is very, very short. And they actually released a joint statement also, the PVR and Maddox Cinema. So
they are best friends again now.
So yeah, that was kind of funny, and I was like, yeah, it does have a little bit of stink on it now, but I was genuinely looking forward because I really like the genre of movies, So I don't know. Yeah, poor guys. But yeah, like it's just it was like a really funny situation. Like there's a war going on, and these guys like we're not going to release the movie now.
I would like to add something more to the war situation. Is that the great amount of Pakistani content on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram that has come out of this war is just. The entertainment, the endless entertainment that I got out of it. I should not rejoice in it, I know, but I just can't because the humor is next level. People setting up samosa wali shops where the missiles are being launched is something that I did not have on my bingo card. It's just next level.
Fun fact, I have no idea what any of that is because it's all banned in India.
I was going to say, Amrita doesn't even know what's going on. Like, it's crazy. Like
I was watching from Malaysia.
Yeah, but it's funny because that's something that we were discussing on the Patreon episode that Amrita is now in an information silo, like she doesn't know which Pakistani celebrities or news anchors are saying. She doesn't get the memes anymore. She doesn't get the news, and she can't
even stare at the pretty face of Mahira Khan.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing that also the Fawad Khan and Vani Kapoor movies also kind of like nixed, right?
Hmm.
Like that's not
Yeah.
getting a release anytime soon.
Oh,
And
sad.
Somebody in the Indian army just like, or the Pakistani army, I don't know which, but somebody just really hates Fawad Khan. They're just like, iski movie aayegi,
yeah,
to tabam karenge.
shuru. Like, let's
Yeah.
start. Yeah, that guy, I think it's done. I like, nahi, tu nahi aa, better. Like, tu wahi reh.
Mm. It's like that song, "Mere kismat mein tu nahi shayad."
Yeah. But yeah, the level of pettiness is though that when they've taken out Mahira from the YouTube thumbnail of
Oh
Zalim,
Yeah,
man.
that was like,
not
wow.
just Mahira, actually. Like all these people, like everyone, like like Mara Hussain and like all those people, all of them have been erased from the
Oh
Yeah, they
man.
thumbnails.
also got into a tiff with the actor, right? Like Harshvardhan Rane.
Honestly, like that. Now talking about Chance Pe Dance, like who was looking for him? Like he's like, I will never act with. Look, who asked you to
No,
act with
I
her?
think so. I think you missed this, Amrita. So what happened is there was a huge there was a Sanam Teri Kasam re-release, and it was a
Hmm.
Okay.
massive hit.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then there was all of these interviews happening, like Harshvardhan is back, he's like the underdog, he's taking over the mantle of Sushant Singh Rajput, and he was doing this interview with the guy from Kala and Sunday, what's his name, the guy who's really good, Avinash Tiwari.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
like both they know each other, so it was a really big push, and they were gonna maybe do a Sanam Teri Kasam part 2 and all of this. And at that time everything was okay, right? There was like Fawad was coming back and all of this like stuff, and then this war happened, and then basically he made a statement that I'm not gonna do the movie if the same cast comes back. And it was always really about Marwa that he was talking about. That was it. But yeah, and then then the internet war started between those two. So I think that's the part maybe you missed, that Sanam Teri Kasam was a massive hit on the
Hmm.
re-release,
But
and
the thing
people are
is, I've watched Sanam Teri Kasam, and if you watch this man act in it, like both of them, both like Maura and him, are like two of the world's worst actors that I have ever seen. I remember when that movie came out, and I was visiting Anila at the time in Delhi, and we were like talking about it, and Anila was just like talking about like Maura more than anybody else. And the rumor at that time was that Maura's dating Ranbir Kapoor because Ranbir
mm,
Kapoor was just, going through the entire
dating everybody.
Pakistani, dating
fresh
everybody,
fresh mal aaya.
Sarhad ke us par. So there was a rumor going around that he was
He
gonna
was doing
marry.
his own project Milaf.
See, this is why you can't go back to Pakistan. So Ranbir, in the middle of all this, like people were saying that he's gonna marry Mawla Hussain. So I think somebody else brought that up to Anila, and I still remember Anila going like, "Come on," and, and you know how she talks, and she was like, "Mawla Hussain के साथ पाकिस्तान में कोई शादी नहीं करना चाहता, यहाँ पे रणबीर कपूर करेगा." It's like, okay. But she was like terrible in that movie. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but she was terrible
Uh,
in that movie,
I'm
and she
not.
died in it. So how is she gonna come
Yeah,
back in part two?
yeah.
And then like Harshvardhan Rane is like a horrible actor. He just like sort of had this one expression throughout that entire film. I don't know how he's saying that he's the
he's
one
good
that
in
like.
I
Tesh
liked him in
though.
a few things. I've seen
I've
him in
seen
a
Tesh, and he was
yeah,
quite good
Tesh.
in
He was,
that. Yeah,
and
but
another
Okay.
I haven't
movie he
seen
was good in.
him in anything
Was it?
else.
Was he not in Hasina Dilruba also?
Something like that. I
Yeah,
can't
and
remember.
actually also is it Marwa Mawra? I don't know. She's gotten quite good apparently in Pakistani dramas too. But again, I've not seen them.
Hmm.
But again, it's beef. There's beef going on between these people. Oh, I can't say that, right, Sujay?
Oh no.
Yes, so that was one thing. Second thing that happened was also should we start Zameen pe first? Maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
talk
Sure.
about that a little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
So the trailer for that dropped. You
Are
guys have got
we are we doing a live reaction?
no, not on this. We would have to do
Okay.
that for Patreon, right? It's not going to be great
Oh,
audio. I can
okay.
play it, but
Okay.
we can do the separate one for Patreon, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's talk about Sitare Zameen Par then.
yeah, because it's been out for a few weeks also now. So yeah. What did you? So this is a remake of a Spanish movie, and then also it got remade in the US with Woody Harrelson, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called Campeones originally, then it becomes Champions, and now it's become Sitare Zameen Par. So I don't know if it's like is there a Tare Zameen Pe universe? Is there Zameen Pe universe? Like is there like something that's being built? But what did you think of the trailer, Sujay?
Um, I would like to wait until this movie comes out because I don't have faith in this movie just on the basis of the trailer.
Hmm.
I am glad that he's sort of sticking to the same branding as Tare Zameen Par to bring people to the cinema who actually liked Tare Zameen Par. So 100 points for making that effort of associating just on the basis of the red and the blue font with the Tare and everything, and Amir's front and center almost looking like some years have gone past, between Tare Zameen Par and now. Obviously, this is a remake. I haven't seen the originals, and based on the trailer, I don't like this phase of comedy. Amir, we are not fans of comedy, Amir. I think apart from Andaz Apna Apna, and so I don't know. I am um cautiously optimistic because I want my heartstrings to be absolutely pulled and destroyed by this man, because we know that Amir is capable of, like, really really capable of doing that, and it's possibly going to do that in some part of the second half, and I'm looking forward to that. But I just don't have faith in this movie solely on the basis of the trailer.
Hmm. Amrita, what about you?
I'm a little bit taken aback by the audience's reaction to this trailer, because I thought we all knew this was a remake of
Hmm.
Campeones.
Mm-hmm.
What is the audience reaction? I don't know. Might
No,
have
because
missed it.
like I hear so many people on like Reddit and Twitter and everything going like, "Did you know this is a frame by frame
Yeah.
remake?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just fake outrage, because it's always been billed as a remake of Campeones. And I think Salman was supposed to be doing this at some point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even then, I remember it being said that, oh, yeah, Salman's gonna do the Campeones remake for Amir Khan Productions. And then that fell through, and then Amir decided to do it. And I was like, I don't understand why everybody, and I understand like not everybody is as online as I am, and not everybody is following all the Bollywood news as much as I am, but they're not hiding it. There's like
Hmm.
nothing to hide about the fact that this is a remake.
Hmm.
And also, I think it's going to be a pretty competent remake, honestly. Like, this is the kind of movie that Amir could
Does
make
well.
in
Yeah.
his sleep, and which is probably the reason why he wanted Salman to do it, because Salman would have brought a little bit of an edge to it that I
Mm-hmm.
think would have been like really cool to see. But also, this is a very fresh concept for India. And I think Amir has been very clear about the fact that he wants to make movies for a more general public than the upper classes that traditionally watch, say, a Campeones or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think by that metric or that yardstick, I think this is going to be a good movie. Um, and also, I don't think I've ever seen a movie in India with like the differently abled acting in it, etc. So it
And
is
good
a new
acting.
con.
Like you
Yeah,
could see that they're really good. Like
yeah.
they're really doing a good job. You can see it even in the trailer.
So I have every faith in Amir that he's not going to set them up. Like
Yeah.
I make fun of Amir all the time, and I will continue to do that. But he knows how to make a film.
You can see from the trailer that the joke is not on them. The joke
Yeah,
is on Amir.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, yeah.
think that's a very smart way to do it. And you can understand Amir's sensitivity and intelligence in making movies that will help this movie. I'm kind of like thinking about this, like, you number one fan of Amir on the podcast, like as we always say. But I worry about this movie. I think the movie is going to be good. I think I'm going to like this movie. Will it work at the box office, and how?
probably not.
That's a different thing. And I think one of a few issues that I'm seeing is I just think it's a wrong time, maybe. for this movie. I think people want bloodshed, and this
Hmm.
requires sensitivity and heart. And I just don't know if there's a hunger for that at this stage in where we are. Not necessarily what's happened, but also just like what is appealing to people cinematically, right? And so that's one thing. I think also the branding of Tare Zameen Pe Sitare Zameen Pe, I think Tare Zameen Pe just had this universal appeal to Desi audiences because it had this kid and his mom's relationship, and that song Meri Ma. I think that's just something that really, transcends. That's a very strong emotion for Desi people. And I don't know if there's going to be that strong of a emotion towards differently abled people, because that's something that we as a people are not able to really deal with quite well as a society. And I think what a movie is trying to do has great intentions, but I feel a lot of times a movie can be made with great intentions, but it's not successful. And I think this might be the case. I hope it breaks through and stuff like that. The other thing, I always say this, I send this to you guys in the WhatsApp. I just think Amir's position in India, they're not done with him. The right wing
Hmm.
Yeah.
is not done with him.
Yeah.
And he's been on this Mia Culpa tour for the last 2 years, talking about how he made mistakes and Lal Singh Chadda or this and that. But they will not let him go. They will not let him just release his movie, just be a celebrity, be an actor, try to do his art. They will try to stop him however, whichever way they can.
Yeah.
And I think there's an odd, it will have an effect when you have, like, people staking out in front of his cinema when you're buying tickets, right? That can be a very dangerous situation. Like, if you want to take your family, you want to take your kids, and you want to just go have a good time, that can be a danger. Maybe not in the bigger cities, but maybe in the smaller, regions. So I think it's like, you saw the clip I sent you guys, like, I think it was a Republic TV or stuff like that. And it was crazy, like the
Hmm.
things that are being said about Amir already,
Yeah.
right? And this was about Lal Singh Chadda, and I think the clip was saying Lal Singh Chadda flopped because it was shot in Turkey party. And I was like, this is an absurd thing to say.
Yeah.
Of all of the things that you're saying about Lal Singh Chadda, a movie that I liked, but
And that's not the most outrageous thing that Arnab has said in his whole career. There's a lot more
this
worse
is
things that
nothing.
he's
This
said.
is
This is
nothing. And
absolutely nothing.
he will say worse things. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
that's the
yeah.
other thing.
And that's his promise.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
tune him just to see him say worse things.
Yeah.
Things have obviously moved on since Tare Zameen Par came into our being. Like, we live in a completely different world since Tare Zameen Par. Tare Zameen Par came out in a time where word of mouth was a thing. Now, movies move away from cinematic release windows of like 3 weeks, and then they're done. We don't allow movies to sustain at the screen, to have a word of mouth and positive reaction, for people to recommend and for people to go to the cinema and check out the movie and then love it. That whole cycle is gone. Like, Tare Zameen Par wasn't like an instant hit. It took time for it to, for the word of mouth to spread and for people to appreciate it and love it. And then it became the lovable movie that we know of it right now. And I don't think Sitare Zameen Par has that sort of leisure and luxury to thrive. It has to be instantaneously, it has to make a connection in a way.
It can, like, I think Lapata Ladies did that. It kind of like slow burn, word of mouth spread. But I think the noise around Amir is
Mhm.
not going to allow that to
Yeah.
happen. It could grow. This is one of those movies that would grow, but the target on his back is going to hurt this thing.
Like a movie like the Superman of Malegaon, it had like so widespread positive acclaim around it.
Mhm.
Like, the word of mouth was so positive, and even that went away within a week.
Yeah.
So, and obviously that does not have the clout of Amir Khan front and center behind it. But what does then, there's pros and cons for Amir Khan to be involved in it in a world that we exist now. So it'll be interesting to see that.
But how is the next press tour going to be for Amir? Like, how is that going to happen? And I just don't think it's going to go well.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. So yeah.
One thing I'd like to note, though, that they sort of incorporated the "aap aadmi whatever hai, lekin aadmi suwar ho" that thing
Yeah, that
that they included in the dialogue.
Our friend
that's specifically for the
Pulkit
internet
pointed that
audience.
out on his
Yeah.
Insta too. Yeah, I saw it there. Also, funny enough, have you seen that? I think this came out like literally yesterday. He's announced his next movie too, which is going to be with Raju Hirani. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I think I barely saw it.
He's
I'm not
making a biopic on Dada
Dada
Saheb.
Saheb Phalke. Yeah.
Yeah, but Junior NTR also just like said he was going to make it 2 days before that.
Oh.
So it's kind of like,
a Bhagat Singh's kind of situation where Bobby Deol has one and Ajay Devgan has one and somebody else has one.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to go with Volcano, and what was the other movie that came out at the same time in the 90s? Anyway,
I thought I was like a Deep Impact Armageddon kind of thing.
Yeah, Deep Impact Armageddon, yeah, those situations. Yeah, so I don't know how
Crimson Peak and Volcano, right?
Crimson Peak? Was it Crimson? No, it wasn't. Crimson Peak is that horror
Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak, yeah. Dante's Peak and Volcano, yeah.
These are all 90s references. We're just aging ourselves as these millennials. Like, हमारे ज़माने में जो movies होती थी.
Yeah. I don't think
we to appreciate both Volcano and Dante's Peak, both Deep Impact and Armageddon, Day After Tomorrow, and all of these.
I watched them all, man. Like they were quite a fun time, So yeah. But yeah, so I don't know how that's gonna happen. But I don't know, Amrita. I know that you're not a huge fan of like the Hirani Amir kind of setup, but like. Also, like a biopic, I just don't feel that's like a Raju Hirani kind of wheelhouse. Like we've seen Sanju, right?
Yeah.
So
I was about to say we've all seen Sanju.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like am I excited about Junior NTR doing it either? Like no.
Yeah.
Like no.
There's already a Marathi movie about it, right? Harish Chandrachi Factory.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested to watch the story of Dada Saheb Phalke and the madness about creating India's first movie, I think that's a really good recommendation.
Nothing's going to be better than Jubilee anyway, if you want to do those kind of things.
Okay.
So, yeah. Final bit of news that I want to talk to you guys about is that the cast of King, Shah Rukh's next movie, has been finalized finally. Shall I read you the names? So Shah Rukh, obviously, Suhana, his daughter Suhana, Anil Kapoor, Jaideep Alawat, Jackie Shroff, Abhishek, Arshad Varsi, and then, amazingly, Deepika we knew, but Rani Mukherjee, that got announced like yesterday. And then there's one guy on the poster that I don't even know who he is. Sorry, unfortunately. I don't know who this guy is. I've seen him. So I think it's the guy from that horror movie.
Munjia.
Munjia. I think that's the guy. No, if I'm not mistaken.
Abhay Verma. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's who he is. So yeah, I also like the fact if you go to I was wondering, like, is Shah Rukh's name in the movie King? So I went to IMDb to check it out, and nobody has any names yet or a plot summary. But the only thing we know is that Abhishek is antagonist. So it's like just like no names, Abhishek antagonist. So yeah, what do you guys think? This is like a big cast, no?
Was Shah Rukh doing promotions of King at the Met Gala with his gay whatever necklace or whatever?
Oh, we haven't even talked about that at all. Like the Met Gala.
Yeah.
I mean, the world is burning us. We have better things to talk about.
It was literally like Panam. It was literally, Hunger Games situation. But that was the same thing last year too. People in Gaza are dying, and then these people are coming in with like,
here's my belt.
Clothes. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know fashion, guys. I don't know. Did that look good? Did that not look good? I have no idea. I have no clue. I have no barrier to judge it.
I think there was a lot of outrage about, people don't know who Shah Rukh Khan is. He's literally the king of the world. And then some American Instagram channel or I don't know, was it Variety or something? They were interviewing and they mispronounced Sabyasachi's name as Wasabi or something,
Wasabi,
and,
yeah.
and it's like,
That was hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah, it was the guy. Actually, she's the comedian from SNL. She's quite funny. So,
Okay, was that
but
on purpose then?
no, no, no. I don't think it was on purpose at all. I think she was getting hungry.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was I gonna say?
King.
Yeah, King. What do you think of the cast?
Firecast.
Yeah,
Who's the director?
Siddharth Anand.
Oh, I have no faith in it.
Written by Sujoy Ghosh.
I have still no faith in it. That man has one good thing on his CV. That's it.
Typewriter.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
No, home delivery with Vivek
Home
Oberoi.
delivery. What are you, Amrita? What are you thinking about?
I mean, it's a Shah Rukh film, so obviously we'll like watch it
Yeah.
for the podcast. I don't know, like I have like multiple feelings about this because I'm not sure if this is the best thing for Suhana, like Suhana should be out there making her own mistakes. She should be out there, like how Ananya was doing like all these different movies and like all that kind of stuff. And instead, now she's got all her eggs in like this one basket with her dad. And obviously, the movie will do well because Shah Rukh is in there. But
It's not a
genuinely,
Suhana project.
yeah, it needs to have been a Suhana project. I'm not like a big fan of this. And B, I don't know what Shah Rukh is doing. Like, what is Shah Rukh doing? Like, I just
I mean,
genuinely don't know.
the cast just got announced, right? So it's not
Yeah.
even gone to production floors yet. So, बनने में at least 2 साल तो लगेंगे.
Yeah.
Like until it gets released. So in the meanwhile, I don't know what else Suhana is doing and what else is on the plate. So by the time Kings comes out, maybe we'll get to see 2 more Suhana movies by
Because
then.
otherwise, like Archie's came out when? Last year or the year before? 2024,
What is
right?
time?
And
I mean, it'll be like
also,
4
how many
years.
people saw it? Like, like on
Yeah.
Netflix and like, I don't know if it got like, I watched it a lot of times, but I think a lot of it got like hate and stuff like that. 2023, so it came out 2 years ago almost.
Yeah.
So it's already been 2 years, and now it's
Yeah.
going to be like what, another 2 to 3 years before King comes out.
Yeah. And Khushi
That's
has done like 3
ridiculous.
movies since.
Yeah.
Vedang has done a couple.
Yeah.
Agastya also hasn't done anything, right?
August
Like,
is making something.
is he?
I think he's in like 2 different movies or something. So what's Suhana doing other than Maybelline ads?
Yeah. Ikkis, he's doing something
Yeah.
called Ikkis with Sriram Raghavan. Oh, that looks good. And then he's also...
Does that sound like 21? The
I
card
guess.
movie with Kevin Spacey?
I mean, yeah, that's literally what Ikkis means. Yes, that
Yeah.
and then, Dining with the Kapoors. Did that come out? Dining with the Kapoors?
No, it hasn't
It's
come out
no,
yet.
it hasn't
coming
come out
out sometime this year, no?
Okay. But yeah, in a way, yeah, Suhana has not been like front and lead, and I don't know if enough people have seen her yet, so it's kind of an interesting situation when a lot of these other actresses are doing a lot of work, working a lot harder, so, but then does she need to, like if your dad is literally on the richest actors of the world list, I don't know if that ambition necessarily is the driver that she needs to have, yeah. But yeah, what about Rani? What about Anil?
Are we expecting them to have like serious roles or just little cameos, like fun little cameos that'll come and go?
I don't know. The thing is also like Siddharth Anand as a filmmaker, right? We need to know that he is very much like, for me, he has the skill set of the guys that made the Avengers. Like that's his quality of filmmaking.
Russo brothers.
Yeah, the Russo brothers. Just like big action set pieces, and the rest just hangs by a thread together. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cameo, to be honest. Like, I don't think Rani and Shah Rukh will have a proper... They're not starring against each other. This is what we hope, right? Like they're coming together as a couple together and all that. And I don't think this is that. She's probably
Rahul
just going to
and
be like working in the same office or something like that, or his manager, and he's going to be like an offhanded joke about how sensitive he is and all of that stuff. So I don't know what it's going to be, but I don't know. It's not looking great, to be honest. Like I think also like for Anil, one Was it Skyforce also a Maddox movie, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, Skyforce was Maddox Films,
Yeah, see, so
but
Maddox is him. Oh no, it's not him. He's not. He's
no, 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 no,
Madflix.
no,
He's
no.
Madflix. Yeah,
Madflix, yeah,
that's such a shit name, man.
yeah.
Even yeah.
Like literally
So
2 seconds of thought process went into naming that.
yeah, I just think like Siddharth Anand got lucky. I don't think like except like putting a lot of budget and having massive set pieces. They're not competent director like the Russo brothers, right? Like none of their movies except for the Avengers have been good, and I think it's the same thing pretty much with Siddharth Anand too. So, yeah, it's basically just exciting to see all of these people together. But that's what I said about Singham again too, right? Or Singham Returns, whatever the last one was. It's cool to see all of these people together, but that's how far it goes. But yeah, so yeah, I guess that's it, right? We don't have anything else about
Are we
King
talking about Thug Life on Patreon?
Yeah, we can do that as a Patreon live react maybe.
Okay.
So
So,
before we go, like I just wanted to like talk about like one more thing, which
Yeah,
is since we're talking about Skyforce, have you guys seen that song from Houseful 5
Lal
called
Pari.
Lal Pari? Yeah,
Yeah,
have you
yeah,
guys seen
I've
it?
seen
no.
Lal Pari. Yeah,
I mean, Jacqueline, Soundarya, like even Sonam Bajwa, like very nice. Like it has like Chitrangada in the back, like terrible. But like
how are you
Jacqueline
forgetting
always
Nargis Fakri?
Nuggets
How are you
Factory,
how are
yes,
you forgetting?
of course, giving nothing as usual. Amazing. Get that paycheck, girl. But Akshay Kumar in that song, I have never seen such a turkey expression on anybody in my life. And I'm from Delhi. I'm just like, what the hell is that? Like, he's so creepy, you guys. Like, so Joy, you haven't seen that song, but you need to see that song. Like, oh my god.
Okay.
Like I know they probably told him to be a little bit, but like dial it down. Like
Hmm.
Jesus, like it was horrible.
Have you seen the poster for his movie Bhoot Bangla,
No,
No.
where he's kind of licking a glass of milk? Have you not seen it?
I do not want to see it.
I
Thank
want to
you.
show you then.
Why?
Uh,
It's
I feel
not
sorry
showing
for
you.
Twinkle that's her life.
She's the cup of milk.
Uh-huh.
um, yeah, I
Uh,
watched that. I watched that Lal Pari clip, and the only thought I had, like, none of these people should be in a club. Like none of these people.
Hmm.
Like they don't. They
It's
like.
giving uncles going to Pattaya.
Yeah,
It's very
it
much that.
looks like there's a moment, like even like Abhishek, right? Like I think he just doesn't look comfortable in that anymore.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like I know.
Hey, do you remember Abhishek's wannabe rap career? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
come
just
to
had,
me. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
He was good. Like I like
He
those
was
little
good.
fun little. Yeah, I liked him. I liked
Hip
him.
hop flavors
Uh,
Vishal and Shekhar.
Yeah, yeah. Piggy chops. No, I
Yeah.
liked it. I liked it. But this is not it, unfortunately. And none of them feel convinced to be there anymore. And
yeah.
it looks odd. Like it looks really, really odd. Also, weirdly, do you know which actress is starring which with actor in this
No,
movie? I can't
no.
figure it
No.
out. I can't figure it
Yeah,
out. Like who's
yeah.
actress? So
Guys, I
that's
have
also
to confess, I have not seen a single Houseful movie, by the way, so I don't
Neither have I.
know.
I haven't seen it either. I don't think I have.
Asim
really.
is in a
Yeah, I
state
don't
of
think I
shock.
have.
I've seen most of them. I think I have. I have.
Punch
That
Missy
explains a
scene.
lot, Asim.
Have you
Also,
not seen have you not seen the Ashok fitness clip though?
no, I
I
haven't.
have to send you this one. This is
This
it's
is
so bad to laugh at it, but it's so funny.
it's very Srimi Verma core.
I guess I don't know, but it's just like one of those such horrible jokes, but it
Mhm.
is so dark and funny. I
Okay.
have to send you. This was from the last Houseful movie, I think. So that joke is like legendary for me. It's the
Okay.
whole movie is just that joke, and it's so funny. I have seen them. There was one with Bobby Deol. There was one with Abhishek. There was one with Deepika. There was one with the one with yeah, there were a few funny ones. Like the toxic one was the funniest ones. I think that's what
Right.
happened. Yeah. So
Since we
yeah.
are riffing, like, I'll have a random note here. I recently discovered this song that I have not heard before, but I came across this song on Instagram Reels. And this is a song from a movie that came out 8 years ago called The Legend of Michael Mishra with Arshad Warsi and Aditi Rao Haidari. The song is called Love Letter. It's insanely catchy. It
Okay.
became a trending sound, and it's sung by Kanika Kapoor. And then I checked it out. Oh, it came out 8 years ago, because that's when she got banned from T series, and that was the end of her singing career, because Bhushan Kumar and her did not get along. But before she got banned, she gave us some really big banging hits. With the Meet Bros, who were composers then for Chittiya Kalaiya and like Baby Doll, and then this Love Letter song, you should definitely check it out. It's really, really catchy. It's been playing on my playlist for a while now. It's really insane.
Have you, like, again, like, it's so weird what goes viral.
Mhm.
That new song, that old song of Mithun. Have you seen it? Mujhko peeni hai, peene do. There's
Oh
like
yeah,
these bunch of guys that have like sang it acoustically with some guitars and stuff like that,
Right.
and it's just gone viral like crazy. And it's just so interesting how like such an old song kind of gets picked up and it goes
Mhm.
viral, and people are doing like these expressions videos on it, and yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Yesterday, I found out, Aaj Din Chadiya from Love Aajkal, the Rahat Fateh Ali Khan song. There is a 2-minute edit of it specifically for on YouTube Music and Spotify streaming, which is known as the trending version, which is
Yeah.
basically just like cut from the second antra onwards to the chorus. It's literally 2.5
Yeah.
minutes. It's just like, why would you butcher a song like that?
The new song Pal Pal, the Pakistani
Mhm.
Amrita, Pakistan is a country next to India which makes good music.
I have heard. I have
Yeah,
heard.
right. So there's this awesome song called Pal Pal by two producers that got together, and I was kind of looking on iTunes, Apple Music for it, and it says trending version and viral version. So
Mhm.
that's how they are now promoting songs. So
Yeah.
the song is amazing, though. It's like such a earworm. It's insane. I wish you could hear it, Amrit.
किसी दिन
सरहद पार से भेजेंगे तुमको कबूतर में.
कबूतर पे MP3 आएगी.
Oh,
Chalo. I think this is it for this episode. Let's drop us an email at youpodtesting@gmail.com. Follow us on Patreon. I think we dropped a lot of content there, even when Sujoy was not around. We did a lot, so
Mhm.
you get your money's worth for sure. So join us, and a lot of people are joining us there too. So it's really cool. And yeah, next episode we're back on the Dhamakas series, and we're doing Namak Halal.
Just want to add, if you are joining us on Patreon, then we currently have an offer where you can get an annual membership, which means that you get a discounted rate. And this is applicable to existing customers as well as new Patreons. So you can take care. I mean, if your membership is up for renewal or something, consider getting the annual one because that will give you a cheaper rate.
Oh, by the way, where can people find you online, Sujoy? I didn't do that part.
You can find me on all my socials at 93K, and you can also follow Khandaan Podcast on all our socials at Khandaan Podcast.
Amrita?
Technically, you can find me at Amrita IQ on Twitter and Blue Sky, but honestly, I am completely off social media. All of you are psychos, and I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you. I am barely on social media either, but yeah, best way to reach us is either through Patreon, where we have lovely conversations with our people,
Yes.
or drop us an email at youpodcasting@gmail.com.
I'm still posting my unicorns and rainbows and travel pictures on my Instagram at 93K. वहाँ पे आ जाओ.
वहाँ पे आ जाओ. Yeah. Cool. Okay, that's it for this episode, guys. I will catch you soon.
Bye.
Khandaan Podcast for Windows at English.